Wait a minute. Hang on.
I started the recording for you, Mr. Brockerdine.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I didn't even know you were there, Farah. How are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
Good, good. Okay, great. I see it here. All right. So let's get started, wonderful people. And I want to thank you guys for being here, certainly, and welcome everybody to the Commerce Committee meeting this evening. I want to thank you guys for being on time, at least the ones who are on time. There are several people that are not here yet, but I'm sure that they're going to come in. But with that being said, I want to very quickly just share my screen if I can. Okay, so you guys can see the agenda. Can everyone see the agenda as much as you can if you have a computer or? Yes? No? I'm not sure if you can see it or not. Can somebody?
We can see it.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. I just want to make sure. Okay.
Can anybody hear me?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. We can hear you. Yes. All right. Oh, and by the way, there's a Timothy Court. Timothy, are you representing a business or are you on the committee? Just before we get started. Timothy Court, if you can unmute. Okay, I'll come back to Timothy.
He's part of primetime events as well.
Oh, he's on from Primetime Events. Okay, great, no problem. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right, so with that being said, good people, I want to jump right into our Commerce Committee meeting tonight. My name is Hassan Bakardine, for those who don't know. I am the Commerce Committee Chair for Community Board 17, and I want to welcome you again to our meeting this evening. My apologies for starting a little late. I as my committee knows, I like to start on time, so if I say 7 p.m., oftentimes it's 7 p.m. So we want to try and make sure that we get through our agenda fairly quickly. So if you don't mind, really the next thing or next point of order would be to give us a quick roll call. So if you don't mind, just unmute yourself and give us a roll call, please, just for the record.
I'll start. Fatima Mohammed, present.
Thanks, Fatima.
David Bolt, present. Sorry.
Who's next? I heard
Timothy Curd.
Oh,
Timothy Curd, present.
All right. Hi, Timothy.
David Boatswain, present.
Hi, David. David, thanks again. Yes.
Khadijah Oluwo, present.
Hi, Khadijah. All right.
Remington Richmond.
Sorry?
Remington Richmond, Remy.
Oh, Remy. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
George Tate, committee member.
Thank you, George.
Marguerite
Robert
Valiante.
Gordon.
Okay. I got Marguerite, and I know Mr. Gordon, I heard you there as well. So thank you guys both. And did we miss? Oh, Adele?
Adele Bennett, committee member.
Hi, Adele. And I know Sonia's there, but she's in away, so she's got a lot of background noise, but I know she's here. If she wants to unmute, she can say so.
And Sabin Jacques, present.
Oh, hi, Sabin. Yes, I saw you there. Yes. And
Sonia Clark, committee member.
thank you, Sonia. All right, great. I think I got everyone. I think we've got everyone here. And I want to thank you guys for doing that quick exercise as well. This is actually basically it was all about MWBEs and ways in which MWBEs has been expanded. And of course, that's one of the initiatives that we have for Community Board 17 and try to see if we can get more MWBEs, or small businesses in our district anyway, to be part of the MWBE, not only on the city level, but also on the state, because there's a lot of opportunity there, a lot of money to be had, and they're looking to make sure that that happens. So that was one of the prevailing themes out the entire forum. I met with a lot of vendors, a lot of city agencies were there as well. But the primary focus was that they really wanted to expand the MWBE portion. They wanted to make sure that they added more of that. I did talk to the commissioner, Dennis Shaw Gross, who's been on our at our meetings before, and obviously Harris Khan, who had stepped in for her last month. who talked about all of the wonderful programs that they have. She mentioned also that she's looking to come down to our district to talk to the small businesses in our district as well, figuring out ways that she can support that effort, and also ways that they can support small businesses in total. So I thought that was a great meeting, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. We have a scheduled on-site visit with Bamboo Walk on November 20th, 2024 at 3 p.m. And the Commerce Subcommittee is going to be visiting that establishment along with myself. If there's anyone from the Commerce Committee that would like to be a part of that, it certainly is open to you. What I try to do is I don't like to I always ask the people who want to volunteer, you certainly can, but we want to make sure that what we do is work more closely aligned with our small business owners and making sure that we support any effort that they have to help grow their businesses, especially if they're good business owners. We want that. So we'll be meeting with Paula McCure and her husband at Bamboo Walk, and we're looking forward to having a really robust discussion about some of their challenges. We're not looking for anything proprietary, of course. That's not what the visits are for, but it is to identify any challenges that we can help support and get any resources as well. So Mr. Gordon, just so you know, and we'll be also reaching out to you to come to your establishment as well and sit with you also. Okay. So
No problem.
okay, great. So I just wanted to mention that. So you'll get back to me on that. We're going to be looking at conducting walkthroughs for Avenue D Business Corridor, which we actually did. And the walkthroughs will be a second round of walkthroughs where we'll be bringing the agencies out, such as, again, the Brooklyn Chamber, the New York Small Business Services, and visiting these individuals' businesses or at their location to talk about the resources that we can offer them, how we can support them, that kind of thing. What we find that's most effective, and I think what most business owners do appreciate, is that us coming to them makes a huge difference. And we're going to be looking at bringing the Chamber on the Go, which is something that the business chamber, the Chamber of Commerce for Brooklyn has a mobile van unit that they have all these services and all this stuff, and they're going to be bringing that out. So we're looking to do that in December. We're looking at the dates and times. I'll let you guys know, but we're looking at the Avenue D corridor and also the Church Avenue corridor for starters. Also, just wanted to let you know that, and certainly the Commerce Committee was invited, which you guys don't know about because I haven't sent the flyer out yet. We're invited to a grand opening for a new business called Fireleaf, and they are a licensed New York State cannabis dispensary. They're at 2102 Ralph Avenue from 1 to 5 p.m. On November 23rd, and they invited the Commerce Committee to come out to their grand opening to see their establishment. Something that I will make sure I send out the flyer to you guys. I just recently got it as well today, so I'll be sending that out. Whoever wants to go can certainly come on board. What we try to do is support our small businesses in any way we can, and obviously, if they have a grand opening, we want to basically see how we can support that effort, as long as they're good businesses, of course. All right, so that's that. I will go very quickly to the other thing that we have here. We did, some of the Commerce Committee members probably know this, but our business owners do not. Part of our effort when we go out to the on-site visits is we'll be bringing a small business survey. And the reason why we bring the small business survey is literally just to ask questions on what the business owners would like to see in their business corridors. Some of the things that have impacted their business, as you can see, these are just some of the questions. I think they're probably about 20, no, sorry, they're only, about 21 questions. And we'll be leaving this with the business owner to fill this out and to really tell us exactly how we can support that effort as well, okay? Sorry, I'm just trying to get this here. Hang on a minute. And then we could develop, which we always have been doing in the past, like we're doing this month, is we have a small business spotlight. I hope you guys can see this, right? Everybody can see this as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we did a small business spotlight. You know that we we continue and try to do or spotlight 2 businesses per month. Mr. Gordon, Footprints has benefited from this in the past, and we want to continue to do that. I believe we're going to be reaching out to you guys as well to do something for December also. So we'll be highlighting this. We create the entire flyer. This is one that we highlight for any business that is in the community, so our community can know a little bit about what this business is about, where they're located, who the proprietors are, their stories, maybe particularly their special dishes, their logo, and all of that. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we completed that for this month. That is, of course, Lily's Restaurant. If you guys have not been there, it's an amazing restaurant, Black-owned business, which I always am like to big up as well. And certainly, lastly but not surely, we have the Commerce Committee newsletter that we have for the month of November. These are stories, again, that we're going to be producing every month, just so our business, not only our business community, but also the community at large can know about the latest regulations, things that are happening in the community, all related to small business, and things here on veterans that were honored by the mayor, and then some other things about a gentleman who won $20,000 as a barber, and he did that for giving out free haircuts to the needy. So it's a lot of good stuff here. We'll be doing this, like I said, every month. We continue to do this. Oh, and I don't know if anybody went to the Brooklyn Commons pop-up event on November 14th. Did anybody from the committee go to that? Or did you guys hear about that? No?
No.
Okay. Well, they do this every year. I think this is the 8th year. I think this is the 8th year that they've been doing. And what they do, which I think is just fantastic, because I didn't make it this year, I had to work, but they literally have young entrepreneurs. And I don't know if you guys have been to Brooklyn Commons, but it's this large open space. But it's amazing because these folks are and they come from all walks of life, but they're all young entrepreneurs bringing in their products and services, talking about their businesses, as well as we have the agencies there to support those small businesses, so they get something out of that as well. And oftentimes it's usually a full day of events that's there. So I didn't make it this year. I was hoping that I was going to be making, but it just didn't happen that way. I think there was a grand prize this year of participants having a chance to win $5,000 in cash. And Councilmember Rita Joseph collaborated with Brooklyn Commons and a few other sponsoring organizations as well. So great event all around. I just wanted to mention those things as well. All right. So with that being said, I have completed my Commerce Committee Chairman's report. Is there any questions on that at all? No questions?
No.
All righty. Okay, great. I also see Mr. Patrick Agard. Mr. Agard, how are you, sir? Thank you for joining us, by the way. And
good evening.
Good evening. So great. So let's move right on to the business at hand. And I want to make sure that we get right into this right away, because we do have a number of businesses that are here, and we want to try and hear from them right away. So we've got Remy from Primetime Events, who's on the line. We've got Robert Gordon from Footprints. I believe we have Mr. Agard, who's going to be, I think there are a number of businesses that he is representing this evening. So, Mr. Agard, you can let us know when we get to you, sir. But let's start with Primetime Events. Remy, if you can unmute, sir, and tell us a little bit about your business. And then, of course, the committee will ask any questions of you, sir. Okay? Go right ahead.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, my name is Remington Richmond. Together with my partner Timothy Court, we opened a event space on Rutland Road, where we'll be hosting birthday parties, baby showers. You know, it's like a regular event space. So currently we're applying for a liquor license where we can, where we host events, where we can sell liquor or people can have liquor in the premise.
Okay, gotcha. And of course, this is a new application. Anything else you want to tell us about your location before I open it up to questions?
But the location is it's on Rutland Road, between Rockaway Avenue and 96th Street. It's close to the 3 train. It's a very it's a very populated area. That's about it. TJ, do you have anything to add?
Oh, hey, this is Timothy Kurtz. So I basically what Mr. Remy is saying is that we do located on 1084 Rutland, and is a very busy and popular area that we're trying to do baby showers and birthdays and stuff. And also we want to do one or two like events for the community, for the police, stuff like that. So whereby we can, bring more attraction to the place. So that's my plan. That's our plan and goal for the event space. So whereby we can be a part of the community in general.
Gotcha. Understood. Great. All right. So, committee, do you guys have any questions for? Oh, you do. Fatima.
Yes, hello, good evening. So I know you guys said you're at 1084 Rutland Road. That is, like, I live in the area, and as it is now, it's a very noisy. It's very noisy over here with people's music and stuff. So, like, how late are you guys planning on having like events? And I'm guessing you guys are gonna have alcohol. Like, how are you going to control the crowd in terms of spillage into the streets? Like, and so forth.
Okay, so we do have security at hand if we decided to have events like in that case, but we're planning to close the latest like 1, and the place is soundproof too. So we're trying to keep it as close as early as possible, so whereby we can regulate the crowd and stuff like that into the place. If that answers your question.
Gotcha.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions from the committee? No other questions? Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, Adele. Go ahead, Adele.
You stated that the building is soundproof,
Yeah.
but it's the lower part, where you say the business part of an apartment building.
I didn't hear you. What you said?
Upstairs from you is an apartment complex.
Oh yeah, but we soundproof the place, and that's how we do it.
You said you want to be doing events and baby showers.
Yeah, mostly baby showers or the parties.
How many means of egress do you have?
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
How many means of egress do you have?
There is 2 means of egress.
Great.
And where is it?
Sorry?
Say that again.
Exactly where is it? Because I'm Googled the building, and I can't see it.
There's one to the back. There's one to the back where you can't see it from outside, and the entrance is also considered a means of egress.
And what about your fire code information? You have all that together? The permits? Hassan, did you present all the permits and everything?
So far.
And what about for the fire code? The permit from the fire department, but they have to have that.
I don't have it here, but I believe that they did. I'm going to check on that, actually, by the way.
Let's check on it first.
Yeah, I'm going to check on it. All right, because I
assumptions are not good.
Yeah, Yeah, I'll let you know about that. I have to check. I don't have it in front of me, actually.
Mm-hmm. And they're
Okay,
in the packet.
right. And we have
The
Khadid.
capacity, they're talking about
Okay,
capacity.
so can I say some? So
Yeah, you
we do.
can say something.
Okay, so we do live in the area,
Mhm.
and also I have a business. I'm a business owner. I
Mm-hmm.
have a business on the block too.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Other business, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
But this is a totally different business that we have to vet. So we have to ask these questions.
Yeah. Thanks, Adele. I appreciate that too. I want to go to Khadid and then Sonia. So Khadid.
I understand if you mentioned that you would like to close at 1, but what is the latest that you guys can actually close?
Well, we looking at to close it off at 1, and we try to regulate the time to be 1. We're not planning to go over 1.
Gotcha. So 1 o'clock is your cutoff time, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sonia,
Correct.
did you have a question?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I heard what the police report want, and is it customary for business who want to come before the committee be off camera? I know usually they're always on camera, so I'm just kind of wondering. I know I'm not on camera, but I think that people coming before the committee should be on camera.
Yeah, I've never made it mandatory for people to do that on our meetings, although I always leave that up to the business owners because sometimes they can't, depending on their situation. So I leave that up to them because I know that the following day they're going to come before the full board and they have to come in person. That makes sense.
Okay.
So I leave that. Specifically leave that up to them. I don't make it mandatory because sometimes it's just not conducive for them to do it.
Feasible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to make that a little bit easier. All right. Great. Anyone else? Was there any other lasting questions? I see, Khadid, I know you
Sorry,
had
I'm
your
late.
hand up from before. Who's that?
Sorry, I'm late. This is Natalie Lamming from Spices and Slices.
Natalie Lamming, how are you? This is Hassan Bakruddin. It's been a long time, lady.
I know. How are you? I'm so sorry. I
No
had
problem.
to
No
download
problem.
app. Sorry.
No problem. You're on time. We're just getting through the first, business, so no problem. All right, just
Okay,
hang in
good.
there for a bit. All right, but
Thank
thanks for being
you.
here.
Okay.
All right. Okay, great. So, George, did you have a question?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the question I have, what's the capacity? And he said he will be closing at 1 o'clock, but what are the operating days?
Okay, so the capacity is 85, right? And what's the next question?
And
the operating days, what days do you will you be open?
Pretty much every day.
Yeah, we're trying to get it every day.
7 days a
so-
week you'll be open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and the 1 o'clock closing applies to every night?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, George. All right, if you guys have asked your questions, just put your hand down on your thing, just so to make sure I had everything. I also see that Hazel Martinez joined. Hi, Hazel, as well. And
Hi,
Cheryl
Hazel.
Saunders, also see that you're here. Cheryl, are you representing a business? I just want to make sure, are you just part of the committee?
I'm part of the committee and I can vote.
Okay.
Thank you.
I apologize. I could barely hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I am part of the committee and I can vote.
Yes, ma'am. I'm wonderful. No, okay, great. Cool. Thank you so much for being here, Ms. Saunders. All right. Okay, great. So any questions, lasting questions before I look at the incident report?
So, one more question. This is Timothy. So just to clarify, basically it's only when we get bookings, and most of the time we get bookings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only when we get bookings, we're gonna open the place for baby showers and whoever decide to book it. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. All right, I see these are the last two questions, guys, because we got a lot of people that are here. All right, so Adele and then Sabin.
Now, this is for you, Hassan.
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
we ever go up into that area and look around and take a survey of the residents to see how they feel about it? Because
No.
1 o'clock at night,
Mhm.
it may be good for businesses. Remember, we have to look out after the residents. A lot of people around there have kids.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. The problem is, and this is, we typically don't want to overextend ourselves. I have not gone up there at all. I can't speak for any of the other members, but I particularly have not gone up there. It's just when you, and I think at some point we probably will make that a part of what we do. I think it does help to kind of get a sense of, especially if it's a new application. In this case, it is where the location is and that kind of thing. Although when it comes to taking a poll about the neighbors, what we try to encourage our business owners to do is to make sure that they go out and talk to their neighbors about what they intend to do, whether that's through a flyer, whether that's through a letter, however it is, and let them know that this is a new business coming in the area, that they're open and available to have a discussion. If there's any issues where there's possibly a complaint, that here's the numbers that they can reach the business owners at, et cetera, to establish that dialogue right away. And this helps with going to be good neighbors. So I'm just kind of reiterating that as well. All right. And Sabine, go ahead.
Yes,
Sabine, you go
sure.
ahead.
I'll be quick. Mine
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
you mentioned until 1 o'clock, and you also mentioned your opening, basically you're looking for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, we want all businesses to be successful, but I do know historically, as you're pushing into the Sunday 1 o'clock time, you might get some, I guess, again, this is my thing, some negative, because they can call cops and make complaints. And I know you say it's soundproof, but I'm just thinking ahead. And because when you come, we obviously want all businesses to be successful. Do you have a plan for that, addressing that? Thank you.
Yes, if I may, also I will definitely would love for you guys to come and invite you guys to see the place. If you guys, it's up to you guys if you guys want to come and see the place. And yes, I could I can close like 12 on Sunday. Doesn't matter. I can work that, definitely work that out.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a problem with coming in. Thanks,
Yes.
Sabin, for that. I appreciate the question. Big up to Allison Martinez for joining us in this meeting. Hi, Allison. Okay, great. So I just wanted to make sure that we at least got some of the questions answered, and that okay, yeah, that we have everything that we've sort of unveiled. Oftentimes, this is the same kinds of things that questions that you'll hear tomorrow evening. If the our committee votes in favor of that or bringing you before the full board. So looking at primetime events, and we do ask what we call incident report from the 67th precinct. It's a 1-year window of any incidents that may have happened at that event. This is a new location. Looking at the incident report, there are no incidents at all for this 1-year period at this address at 1084 Rutland Road. So okay there. All right. If you'll be so kind, Remy, you guys just hang on, and we'll have to go to the next business owner. But just hang on, and we'll do our vote and wrap up our vote as we go through each business owner. But I only think there's only a few of you guys on here anyway. So, all right. So thank you so much for that. But just hang out a little bit. Okay. So next up we have Mr. Robert Gordon from Footprints. You guys know Mr. Gordon. And he's here to talk a little bit about Footprints and the renewal of their liquor license for 2024 into 25. Mr. Gordon, you're up,
good
sir.
night. Yeah, good night, board members and members of the community and fellow business owners. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so Footprints Cafe, we've been in business for 23 years, God willing. It will be 24 in January, located at 5814 Clarendon Road. We employ around 75 people at that particular location, and we're here to for the renewal of the liquor license. I'm open to any questions, and I've been a part of the community for the 23 years, and I'm always here and available to address any concerns that the neighbors or the neighborhood may have, or coming to Board 17. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, I know that the committee knows you by now because you guys have come before us and you've been around for a long time. Are there any questions from committee members who may not know Footprints? And hearing none. Oh, I'm sorry. Adele just mentions there's a possibility of there's a double parking issue. And so what have you guys, I guess the thing about it is the double parking problem. And I know that's due to people picking up food and all of that. So, and I don't know, Adele, are you saying that is attributed to Footprints, or are you just saying it's just a problem in general?
The cars sit there, there's nobody in them. And I walked by there a couple of times, they were not picking up food, they just go sit down in there and eat. Leave the cars out there on both sides.
Oh, you're saying, okay. Go ahead, Mr. Gordon.
Yeah, I could address that a little bit. We do have people that are coming in to pick up, and also you may have Uber or DoorDash drivers that are picking up. It's always a concern for me with that. I think we may get a little relief on that because we are highly considering not putting back the roadside seating.
Yes.
We do have outdoor cafe that's directly on the on the sidewalk part, on the sidewalk that is attached to the the building there, but the roadside seating specifically. So I think once we do that, it should kind of alleviate that a little bit. It's kind of difficult there because we do have the roadside seating. So even though we try to discourage it, and whenever a driver comes in, we will tell them, listen, if you're double park, go outside and move, and so on. It is a very difficult situation to control.
Yeah.
But we're looking into, I mean, it's not a done deal yet, but as the owner, I'm telling you that most likely we will not be putting back the roadside seating accommodation. So that should bring some relief into the whole double park situation.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Gordon. There are questions from Sonia and George. So Sonia first and then George next.
Sure. Hi, good evening, Mr. Gordon. I just have two questions. Do you share the parking lot with McDonald's?
No, we don't. I mean, that's a
Okay.
popular question, to be honest with you. No,
Mhm.
McDonald's have been a little bit lenient. We do have people that park in there, but they have towed from time to time. They haven't really towed recently. We do have signs in the parking lot. They're saying that this is not our parking lot, but to be honest, 95% of the time it's not an issue. Some people do park in there. They McDonald's just get a little bit concerned when they don't have parking for their own customers, which is understandable.
Yeah.
So we do tell our customers, listen, you're not supposed to park there. Some do take a chance and park, but to be honest, they haven't towed recently, but they do reserve the right to tow.
Okay, I
Gotcha.
just want to find out if that's the case, if you share that. The last question I had is
Yes.
I just want to remind all your patrons as well that if they choose to eat the food in the car, that they don't dump the garbage outside the car, because we've had a lot of situations that they come in the neighborhood, pick up their food, sit in the car and eat the food, and they don't want to keep the containers in their car, obviously, so they throw them out the window. So that is still an issue. It's not as bad as it was before, because it appears that you've been having that conversation with them, but just to remind them about that.
No problem. I definitely will. I mean, it's an issue. I have my guys that They sweep up every morning. Sometimes you'll see me out there sweeping up. I have the same problem even with McDonald's customers. They are, you'll see them, even we
Yes.
have outside seating, some of the school, the people that go to school, the young people, they're not allowed to eat in McDonald's anymore. I think they have like a restriction there. So they'll come on the sidewalk and they'll eat, and I'll tell them, listen,
Correct.
young men and women, it's okay, you could sit as long as you don't leave your garbage there. So it's a problem I face. So I understand also the concerns of the neighbors. I try my best to discourage that. It's just, that comes down to, believe me, somebody, personal, morals and stuff. I don't feel good throwing anything out of my car. I could never do that. I'll go to a garbage bin, but I don't know, people are, just not really concerned about the neighborhood. But I do try to enforce, and if I see it, even across the road, I'll walk across, or I tell my guys, sweep up if you see anything, over there. But my apologies on that again. I wish it's something I could have better control over.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we got George, and then I think Marguerite had her hand up.
Good evening again, Mr. Gordon. I didn't think I had
Good
any
evening.
questions since you've been a pillar in the community for a while, and I think I'm quite familiar with your establishments. However, you did mention that you may not reapply for the street
Roadside.
dining. Yes, but you will be. So my question basically would be: would you be keeping the sidewalk or not the roadside? Just wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
yeah. I think for myself and many business owners, and maybe for another meeting, what the new law is saying now, they want you to take down and put up back every year. It may not be worth it, because the extent that a business owner goes through to make it comfortable and nice, to take that down and to store it and to put it back up every year, it may be, we're assessing the cost on that. So if we decide not to keep it, and as I'm saying no, where it's not 100% decision that is made yet, it's very likely that's what's going to happen. The roadside would no longer be, but the sidewalk would remain.
Okay, and I think November 29th is the deadline for the decision, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it may be. I know it's coming up. So it's tabled for our internal meeting, to make a decision on that. So that is why I mentioned it now.
Gotcha.
Okay, thanks again for the update and for all you do.
Yeah, man, you're welcome, and thank you guys for the support.
Absolutely. And I believe we had Marguerite. Marguerite, are you still had a question, or are you're
Yeah.
okay? Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Hi. I'm just wondering, do you have trash bins outside your establishment that people can use that might alleviate issues like that?
We do. We have one right near the entrance that separates the McDonald's parking lot and the entrance into the business. So even for some of the kids that come in, we have one on the closer to the let me say, heading towards Ross Avenue side at the end of the building. And then we have an inside garbage area there. So we have one on either side of the sidewalk cafe for people, to put the garbage in. But you know how it is. People walk right past the garbage and throw on the ground. But we do provide for out there. We empty them every morning and night. They're emptied.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Okay, awesome. So it looks like I think we've exhausted all our questions for Mr. Gordon. I want to thank the committee for certainly providing those questions. I think they were relevant. Some of them I didn't even have it on my list, so you guys have covered everything. That's why I appreciate this committee so much, because you guys always make sure y'all cover all areas, so I do appreciate that. So Mr. Gordon, just hang out a little bit, okay, sir? And I will get to our next business or representative who is representing businesses, which I think is Mr. Agard, and then we'll go to Ms. Natalie Lamming from Slices and Spices. So Mr. Agard, are you there, sir?
Yes, good evening.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take a quick step back before you start, Mr. Agard. I did not read the incident report for Footprints.
Yeah.
Of course, as I mentioned, the incident report we always get from the 67 precinct. There have been no incidents in a year for this location at Footprints Cafe. Okay, so just wanted to mention that as well. So go right ahead, Mr. Agard. Nice to see
Okay,
you, sir.
which one are we starting with?
You tell me, because you
Okay,
gotta
excellent.
let me know which ones you're working with.
Okay, let's start with the Hills Restaurant and Bar Inc. at 4706 Church Avenue,
Yes, sir.
and that's between Schenectady and 48th Street.
Right.
And many of you know her. That's Miss Doris, and she's had the Hills Restaurant for many years, and she's looking to get her license back again. You know, she ran into some trouble during the pandemic when we were under lockdown. And so now she's reaching back out to get her establishment license again.
Okay, great. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Because I feel this is an establishment that I believe most of your members, or quite a few of your members, should know.
Right.
And I think she's always had a good place with this community board.
Right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I know that I know a lot about it, but I want to give some of our committee members who may not know much about the Hills Restaurant a chance to ask any question that they'd like. So, committee members, if there are any questions that you guys have. George, you raise your hand. I see you. Yes, sir. And Adele, you raise your hand. So George first and Adele second.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Agard. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Tate, how you doing?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, so no, basically my question was, because I did look at it when I saw the agenda, I saw it was listed as a new applicant. So I was wondering about that, but you did mention that she's applying because she had lost her license.
Yeah.
Before. Is that what? Would you like to expand on that as to what happened?
Yeah, you know, as you remember, during that time from 2020 through 2022, when we had serious lockdown protocols, and she was got a violation for her having an event in the backyard. Ironically, it was I think she was holding a religious event back there for a pastor, and they closed her down for that, and they had very strict protocols in the sense that if you broke those protocols during the lockdown, one of the consequences is that you can lose your license, and that's how that happens. So it wasn't for
Thanks for the explanation.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I actually remember that when that happened. I was a bit despondent over her losing her liquor license because it was unfortunate, but yes, I do remember that. Any other questions, committee members? Any other questions? No? Oh, sorry, Adele.
I do remember something about that. I also want to hear the SLA report of why they lost their license, exactly why.
Well, I know that they lost their license because of two things. Just like Mr. Agard had mentioned, it was an event that was partially was two things. It was overcrowding, right? That was one thing, and the second one was the fact that there was a mask mandate at the time as well, and they came in and saw. I think most of the patrons did not have a mask. So there was those two things, and I think they were well over capacity, not only just in the back, but also within the restaurant itself, if I'm not mistaken. So just kind of, this is from memory because I had spoken to her about it, and we talked about it, and I asked her to just let me know what was going on, and to see if there's anything we could do. But there was nothing that we could do because obviously at the time, those you had to adhere to those strict mandates, and there wasn't much we could do at all. So that was the reason why. If that makes sense, I hope that clears that up a little bit.
Actually, it doesn't. I just wanted to hear the report from the SLA themselves, because once it's taken away, I don't think we have the authority to give it back. I don't think so.
No, we do. She can apply. I mean, and it's been long enough for her to be able to apply again. So, and of course, if the SLA thought it was deemed necessary to not give her that, then this conversation wouldn't be having. We wouldn't.
No.
The representative, Mr. Agar, wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having them come before us at all. So, so yeah, but we can look at the SLA report, but ideally that's what's going to be said on the SLA report, but I'll look at it again just to see.
I'd like a copy if possible.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. I'll leave that up to the SLA. That's what they do. Sonia, go right ahead. I know you had a question as well.
Yes, I think you might have answered my question. I was wondering if they had revoked her license for a period of time, and now she's requesting requesting a new license. That was my one question, and the other question was, since that was such a serious thing to have done, my concern would be what measures have she taken to make sure that she does not fall in a situation like that again, and it may not be for something as serious as having a mandate for in COVID, but it could be something if that was that serious and she did that. What about something that's not that serious but still can be harmful that the established may do? So I'm just, want to make sure that she recognized how detrimental that was, and to make sure that policies are in place that something like that never happens again.
Gotcha. Mr. Agar, you want to address that, or you?
Okay, two things. First of all, answering Adele's concern about her applying again. If she couldn't reapply, the SLA has a procedure that they would put in place if they can block a license from an address called a prescription. There's been no prescription put on the address, so which means that actually from the time they revoked the license, she could have applied the very next day because there was no prescription put on the address. So that was just the punitive measures that were taken back then. And it just didn't happen to her. It happened to quite a few places, but in her case, hers was overcrowded, like Mr. Bakadine mentioned. As far as Ms. Doris repeating anything like that prior to those violations, and Mr. Bakadine, if you know, because you were, I think, the head of the committee back then as well.
Yeah.
I don't believe she ever had any other type of violations. It was a time when everybody was being tested and strained, and when you have to, she had to make certain decisions, and it wasn't a wise decision, but she's definitely has learned her lesson. And I would continue to believe that the character of who she is, that moving forward, she would adhere to any restrictions or any type of protocols that are put in place moving forward.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Agar. I see that David, you have a question, sir. So your hand is raised.
Yes, hi. Good evening again. Just a quick question, I guess for my own curiosity as well, but why did it take so long to reapply for the liquor license?
Her concern was she wasn't sure if they would do it, allow her to do it. But we've checked, and they said, yes, there's no problem with her reapplying. Just the same, we just have to put them at ease that moving forward, those kind of decisions would not be made anymore by her to do that. But that was the main thing, was that she was not sure of her movements, if it would be possible to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Gotcha. And Khadija?
So with the fact that the overcrowding was an issue, does she understand the capacity? What is the capacity of this venue for standing and also sitting?
Okay, as far as the overcapacity, during the COVID lockdowns, and I'm sure Mr. Gordon can probably, if he's still on, can verify this.
I'm here.
Okay, nobody was allowed inside. You only
Yes.
were allowed to do takeout,
That's right.
and there was no indoor. So one person inside was overcrowding. So don't misunderstand in thinking that she had a capacity for 30 people and she had 90 people in there. It wasn't that kind of thing. It was just nobody was allowed inside during that time. Everything was out seating on either on the roadway or on the sidewalk or takeout.
I understand what you're saying, but
Mhm.
even still, she was doing an event for her pastor. There had to be a certain amount of people in there.
Right.
So how many people?
I don't know. I don't know the number of how
No,
many people
I'm
were
not.
there.
I'm talking about right now. What's the capacity
Oh, for
for
where
her?
she is right now?
Yes.
Yeah, for that place, it's she can probably easily hold. She's allowed up to 74 capacity, like most places are, but she probably can just comfortably hold maybe about between 45 people. I would say comfortably can sit down in that place. But she does a lot of takeout. Her business is really a lot of takeout. She has a very strong clientele that she's had for years, and it's a lot of takeout that she does. But she probably can hold about a good, comfortably 40 people in there.
All right. Thank you for that, Khadija. I think.
But you know what,
Sorry.
Mr. Bakadine, what I would do for tomorrow night, I'll get the exact number, and we'll give you that. Who was asking the question, Ms. Khadija?
Yeah, Ms. Khadija, she was asking.
Yes, I'll have that information for you tomorrow at tomorrow evening's meeting.
Okay, great. All right, awesome. So thank you so much for that, Mr. Agard on the Hills. We just want to make sure that we keep things moving. Also, there was the incident report that we have, again, for a year's period. And there were a couple of incidents. One on, sorry, there were two incidents on 11/15, sorry, in a minute, 11/15/23. I guess that's, yeah, November 15th, 2023. There was one 911 call for a dispute, but the status is closed. And then there was one 311 call for drinking, and that was closed. Doesn't really say anything more than that, but those are the two incidents that happened on those 2 days. Okay, so just wanted to mention that as well. Okay, let's move on, Mr. Agard. I know you're here representing a few other ones, so go
Yes.
right ahead.
Let me bring it up. That's All Nations Restaurant and Lounge, Inc. at 1091 Utica. That's between Beverly and Clarendon Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is for renewal. And Ms. Ann Peters have been running another long-running establishment that has been well-known with this board as well. And they've been running the place for many years, and it's just that time again to renew.
Right, gotcha. And are there any questions for Mr. Agard for All Nations? I know I think their establishment has been there well over 20 years, I think.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they've been around for a while. Any questions, committee members? Okay, Hazel, go right ahead.
Yeah, good evening. I've been in this place with Hassan some years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, we
And
stopped
I
in.
want to know, has it been renovated at all? Is it the new owners or the same?
No, the family's the same, and Miss Ann Peters is the sister. She's there, and her other sister, who's known as Jenny, she's the one who's there most of the time. And yes, they started a renovation prior to the pandemic, and that was put on pause, but it has been since completed, and they have renovated the establishment. Yes.
They had a liquor license before, so what happened to it? They didn't renew it?
No, the liquor license is still there. This is just a renewal.
This is a renewal,
renewal?
yes.
Okay.
It's not a new application. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, anyone else? Going once, going twice?
Actually, I have a question,
Yes.
but it's about the last applicant. You said on the report, it was a drinking a violation, or the report that was submitted
Yeah, for Hills? You
for the
mentioned?
Hills.
Yeah, there was, the report actually says, sorry, let me just get it because I was, go back to it really quick. It says that there were two incidents. One was a 911 call for a dispute, so I guess someone was fighting, but the status was closed, right? And status just means, and I don't think our community affairs officers are on here tonight. But when they say status is closed, that means it's been investigated, and now the incident itself or the complaint itself is closed, right? So they've done away with that. And then there was a 311 call for drinking, and it says the status is closed. The problem is that it doesn't give you any more information than that. It doesn't say it was drinking on the outside, drinking on the
Yeah,
inside.
that's what my
They don't give
question
you
was. More,
right.
is
They
it
don't yeah, they don't
outside
give
of
you any.
the location itself, like it's someone on the street, which
No, it doesn't really
obviously, you know,
say.
sometimes businesses get held responsible for, which has nothing to do with them,
Yeah, it
or
doesn't
was it
say.
service inside the space?
Yeah, it doesn't say at all. It doesn't say at all, Allison. It just says
Okay.
311 call for drinking, and it just says the status is closed.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
if our wonderful detectives were here, they could answer that question, but they're not, unfortunately. But I hear what you're saying. Okay, great. So go right ahead, Mr. Agard. I apologize. Yes. Who's that?
Inside the chat, Adele, I'm saying, sorry. Adele's mentioning that there's underage drinking, that this place is being known for underage drinking.
Which place? The Hills?
The Hills. Yeah.
I don't know. Adele, you know about that? I don't know. I can't speak to that.
So the only reason why I'm saying mention tomorrow, Mr. Agard, you may be prepared to answer some of these questions because several of the members have questions about that.
Been difficulty
I've
hearing
never
you.
heard
You're
that
going in and out.
about underage drinking. And, you know, we have to be careful when we throw out those things.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I didn't hear about it. I didn't hear about it. Probably underage drinking there. The reason why I know I can speak from some sort of a level of expertise when it came to the Hills and why they lost their license, because I had spoken to Doris and we talked about it and we got to the nuance. So I knew about what had happened, why it happened. But I've never heard about any underage drinking. I can't verify that, but
I'm
you know.
sorry, like that doesn't fit with the profile of the clientele that goes there, which tends to be
Yeah, like
elderly, honestly,
yeah,
for the most
elderly.
part. Not
Excuse me, they're called
of
mature.
advanced age. I'll put a mature and
That's
advanced age.
terrible. Even that's
I'm
even worse,
sorry.
Allison. It's an advanced stage. they're called mature. Anyway, let's move on.
Mature. I'm sorry. That is not a spot for young
I
people
know what you
to
mean.
hang out. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
know what you mean. Yes, I don't know, but to your point, Khadija, I mean, I can't speak to it, Mr. Agard. I don't know. Have you ever heard anything like that, sir?
No, that's the first time because like you, and I think, was it Miss Hazel or someone else said, or Miss Martinez
Yeah.
might have said, her clientele is very mature crowd.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I totally get it, but I'm just saying if someone throws it out there that no, like this is what was mentioned in the chat. If you go in the chat messages, she mentions that. Adele mentions that. So if it does come out tomorrow, I'm just saying you need to be prepared to answer that because there may be more questions in regards to them getting their life.
True. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Awesome. So let's sorry, Mr. Agard, you go right ahead so you can move on to the next one.
Pittant Sport Team Inc. That's located at 502 East 95th Street. That's between Church and Wilmore. That's another establishment that has been licensed for quite a few years and well known to this board as well. The son has taken over since then and has his name placed on the license as Garth Charles. And it's just time for renewal as well.
Okay. Any questions, committee members for?
What was it? Can you repeat the name, please?
Pittant, P-I-T-A-N-T.
Sports Team.
Yeah, sports, I'm sorry, yes.
Oh,
you remember this, right, Hazel? You remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions for Mr. Agard? All right.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry.
Hassan? Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah. Now, Mr. Agard, you mentioned that the son is taking over.
Yeah, he's taken over now for the last 4 years, I believe, 4 or 5 years. He had his name put because the father passed away.
Oh, okay. No, you said 4 years. That's fine. I was looking to actually have experience with this, but you say he's been there for 4 years.
Oh, yeah, and
You asked my question.
father always had him working in there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you probably know his face. Garth, he's been to a few when you used to do the live meetings, and he's been to those before. So, but yeah, he's been running the place for a while anyway.
Okay, thank you. That was my question.
All right. Okay. And like I said, any other questions before we go on to the next one? Okay. All right. Mr. Agard.
Then the last
anyone
one.
else? Yes, sir.
Waterfall Lounge Bar and Grill at 4703 Church Avenue between 48th and Schenectady. This is not it's a new application that came before you last year. But the application is in, they've had their temporary license issued, but the SLA has required us to make an amendment to this 30-day notice because on the original notice we sent you, we did not include the backyard.
Oh, okay. So so the original one that you did, which was this was approved last year.
It was
right?
approved last year, yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
And now that they're in this final stage of being approved, they want us to amend the 30-day notice and to inform the community board about the backyard. So that was the main thing on that application.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, so the backyard, it holds 20 people. The backyard is almost as big as the inside. It's quite a deep backyard.
Okay. So you said it holds 20 people?
It holds 20 people, and they only plan to use it during the, the warmer months.
Okay. All right. Hazel has a question. Hazel, go right ahead.
Is this the event space?
No. This is
oh, okay.
This is a bar tavern.
Okay.
At 4703 Church Avenue.
Yeah.
So I think it's across the street from.
It's across the street from the Hills. Yes.
The Hills, yeah. It's right across the street from the Hills.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they had a liquor license already.
Who?
Well,
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead, Mr. Agard.
No, I was just.
It's hard to hear, Mr. Agard. It's kind of low, so I'm.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. They have a temporary license, and the liquor authority now is, as opposed to what they were doing prior to 2 years ago, they're allowing businesses now to get a temporary while their application is being processed, so they don't have to wait 8-9 months to get a license.
Right.
So they now allow them to get a temporary while their application is being processed.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things that comes from the state now. In fact, the governor had a whole press conference on that. I forgot what the program they call it. It's we're going to invite them to come in and talk a little bit more about that because it's actually something that's pretty new as well. So, okay, great. Any other questions? Oh, Marguerite. Sorry, Marguerite. I didn't see your hand.
Yes, hi. Have they
George.
been using the backyard already?
They when they had their soft opening back in, I think it was either June or July, they had used it, and to my knowledge, I don't know the extent of the use of it, but I guess I don't know if Mr. Barkadine has gotten an incident report so far on this one.
Yeah, I mean, is there? Well, let me just finish the question. Is that backyard adjacent to homes and other backyards? Like
Yes.
Residences?
Yes. It's fenced in, but there is a building right next to. If you're facing out the backyard, there is a building immediately to the left, and I believe the right side is opened, but the left does have a wall for a building there.
The building, I mean, but it's not it's not a private backyard adjacent to it.
No, I don't believe. No.
It's like if you went out in your backyard, you would have this party next door kind of thing.
Have what?
I mean, it's not. There's not like a private home with a backyard adjacent to that yard. What I'm asking. I mean, if there's a wall for another building, that's
right. There's a wall
that's
for
a
another
different
building,
thing.
and on the right side, I'm trying to. It's open. It's another backyard there for another for another building next to them. There's open space there.
So there's a private backyard next to it?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
there is a fence that divides them.
Yeah, I mean, but that's really not for me, that's not acceptable, but okay, but so there's private residences next to it. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Great. And George, I think you had your hand up.
Yes, part of my question was asked by Marguerite. But basically following up on Marguerite's question regarding the fencing, would the neighbor be able to see the people drinking, or is it that the fencing will be?
No, the fencing is tall enough and it's private.
It's private.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
trying to see if I have
Thank you.
photos. Yeah. It's
Yes,
private.
and then yes, and my next question will be, what times of the day will they be using that backyard? How late into the night will they be going?
I'll have that answer for you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. And Hazel, I think you had a question, right?
I'm a little concerned about the loudness because I find that businesses don't really have any discretion when it comes to the loud music, and it disturbs the residents in the surrounding community. And if this is going to be, if that backyard is open air, I mean, people are going to be disturbed till all late hours of the night.
Well, one of the things I know that we did speak about, there is no music back there. It's just dining.
Oh, you're saying that just so there will be no music tape.
No music in the backyard.
No music in the backyard. Okay. Just dining. Okay. Marguerite, are your hands still raised? Oh, your hands. Okay, great. Okay, awesome. It looks like we don't have any other questions. So with that being said, thank you, Mr. Agard. Oh, wait a minute. George?
Yeah, no, I just want to say to Mr. Agard, my question about the lateness was regarding music. So if there's not going to be any music, that was my concern.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just for the music. Just want to let you know.
All right, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, good. So, Mr. Agard, thank you so much, sir. So hang out a little bit. Oh, who's that?
Adele Axton wants to know how high is the fence?
I was looking for the pictures, but I believe it's an 8-foot fence. But again, I'll have that information for you tomorrow as well.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on with that. Ms. Agard, thank you so much, sir, for going through all of those businesses. I appreciate that. Just please hang out a little bit while we talk to our last business owner here, Ms. Natalie Lamming, as well. Natalie, it's nice to see you. See that you're doing all right. That's a good thing. I don't know if I think some of the committee members might remember you from your location when you were on Flatbush Avenue. That's how far back you go. It's been a long time. So definitely, please tell us, as you know, you've been through this exercise before with us. Tell us about your business and all of that. And of course, the committee will ask you questions as well.
Sure. Good evening, guys. My name is Natalie Lamming. We are the owners of a couple of the businesses, naming one Savannah Spice in Crown Heights and Utica. We just recently opened a Caribbean pizza shop called Spices and Slices. This shop was technically open and curated by my 11-year-old son that I gifted for him on his 10th birthday.
Nice.
Because I don't want to spend any more money on birthday parties. So we are applying for a beer and wine license. We don't want hard liquor because we don't, it's not that type of excitement. We are just trying to create a space where, well, first, let me just say, since we've been there probably like going on 2 months, this is actually my first time actually being on that side of town, meaning I've been on Flatbush, but I've never really experienced the Nostrand Avenue hub. That hub and the neighborhood has been like super welcoming to us. Originally, we thought people would just come take their pizza and go, but we are getting people coming in and having, sitting and having chats or doing work. So, spending some time basically there. So we just wanted to add the element. That's why we chose the route of beer and wine, just to be able to offer Caribbean beers and wines. To the people who are gonna come out, and also it allows us to create, a different price points in our establishment, of course, to be able to make some more money. Yeah, it's not a very big spot. We sit about, I would say about 20 people. About 20 people. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Let me just say, I'm sorry, we open from 12 noon. On Fridays and Saturdays, we close at 11. But generally, we close around 9 p.m. We're still kind of feeling out the neighborhood. So, we're just trying to play the air of, it's the weather is going into cold now. So we're just kind of like trying to play the air in terms of like how it's going to work in terms of timing. But we definitely don't plan on doing those hours after 12, 11, 1, like 12, 1, 2 a.m.
Gotcha. Okay. Great. Any questions for Ms. Lamming from the committee?
Lord.
Marguerite? I think Marguerite has her hand up.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just wanted to know what streets are you located between?
We are located on Nostrand between Avenue D and Clarendon.
Okay, thanks.
So they're over there also near the hills, right? I think you guys are.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
No, sorry, you're at Nostrand. Sorry, you're
No.
at Nostrand. I'm thinking
No,
you're
no,
thinking
yes,
church.
yes, we're on Nostrand.
No.
Yes,
I'm thinking
it's on
church. Right. Okay, that makes sense. All right. And Nostrand Avenue is a busy corridor, of course, as well. So I think you're in the heart of Little Haiti as well. if I'm not
Little Haiti,
mistaken.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, committee members?
Yes.
All right. Who's that? Adele?
Yes. What is on your menu?
I'm sorry.
Your menu.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's I'm sorry. We sell Caribbean pizza, and so the way how the menu is structured, we're not the typical pizza shop where you come in and the pizza is showcased in the glass. Everything is customized to order by slice and personal pies. We do customized lasagna and mac and cheese. We incorporate things on pizza such as like I am Trinidadian, my husband is Grenadian, so it's like a mix of two. We incorporate things like breadfruit on pizza to represent the Grenadian culture. We do saltfish, of course, we do oxtail, but we don't necessarily just say, okay, we sell oxtail pizza. We promote Caribbean culture in the way that we say we sell a Sunday lunch pizza, because in Trinidad, Sunday lunch consists of stew chicken, plantain, and these are the crazy things that we put on pizza. So yeah.
What about a veggie pizza?
Yeah, we have veggie and we have vegan.
Okay.
Awesome. Marguerite, you had your hand up? No?
No, I was up from before.
Okay. Great. All right. I know I don't have any questions. So that being said, looks like the committee doesn't have any. Ms. Lamming, thank you so much for going through that process. And I just, before we, by the way, I do want to read the incident report. We do always take an incident report, which is gives us a 12-month view of that particular establishment. And of course, this is a new application, and there are no incidents over the last 12 months at this location. So we're okay with that. So just hang out a little bit. We're going to do the vote with the committee. So you guys just certainly we'll go through this exercise and just be a bit. And I know we do have quorum with the committee as well this evening, which is good. I just wanted to, Hazel, George, Allison, Fatima, Timothy, David, Khadija, Marguerite, Cheryl, and Sonia, right? I think that's it. Yes, that's it. Okay, good. All right, so what I want to do is we're going to try and do this as expeditiously as we can, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll go through I'll go through each of the applications. And of course, it's yes for you approve, or no if you don't. And of course, if you abstain, then you abstain, okay? And so we'll go through that exercise in just a bit. So, so for all nations, if you don't mind, and I'll go through the list, starting with Hazel.
I don't know the name of the first one, but I'm not voting for that because I didn't hear the presentation.
All nations, you were just here for that.
No?
Yeah, you sat right there.
Did I hear all of them? Oh, you only going by
you
the
haven't
first
heard all of them. Well, I'm only going through one. Well, if you say that you the one that you haven't
No,
heard,
the
just say
first one that you did at 8:30. I mean,
That
I'm
was
sorry, at the
prime
start of the
time was
meeting.
the first
Prime time. Prime
Yes,
time was
it
the
wasn't
first
all
one.
nations.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you're saying prime time. Okay, fair enough. All right. So, are you saying, what are you saying for prime time? Sorry. So you're saying you can't really vote because you didn't hear anything about prime time. Is that what
Right.
you're saying?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So prime time, would you say prime time is an extension for you?
What did you hear?
Yes.
What did you say? I didn't hear you. Excuse me.
Are you saying prime time is an abstention for you then?
Yes, because I
Okay, right.
didn't hear.
All right, so then that's cool. So can we go through all nations? What's your?
I vote yes for all the rest.
Okay, yes for all the rest. Thank you very much. George?
Yes for all.
Yes for all. Thank you very much. Miss Allison Martinez, I know there were a couple of them that you didn't hear, but
I didn't hear prime time, so I abstained from that one. Yes for all of them from footprints down. I heard all of those. So.
great. Awesome. That's easy. Fatima?
Sorry, it's gonna be no for prime time and yes for the rest.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And Timothy?
Yes, for prime time.
Mhm.
I would like to say something.
Yes, you can say something.
Okay, so what I would like to say is that all those who didn't heard about prime time is that we are event space and located at 1084 Rutland.
Mhm.
And what we trying to
But
bring
Timothy,
to
hold on one second. Hold on. Timothy, you're not a member of the committee, right?
oh, I thought you called my name. Sorry.
I did, but I was calling it. What I should have been more specific. I wanted to make sure that either you were representing Primetime Inc. or you were a member of my committee. Sometimes people join, so I was kind of making that distinction. That was my fault. I just didn't make that distinction. So sorry. So in this case, you wouldn't be voting. I apologize. It's only the committee members, so I apologize. Okay, so that was my fault. My fault. Okay. Okay. So David, sorry.
Yes to all.
Okay, great. Khadija?
I abstain for the first one, yes to the rest. So abstain from prime time.
Okay. And Marguerite?
Okay, I'm abstaining from prime time.
Mhm.
I'm abstaining from the hills, and I'm abstaining from Pittman Sports. And and I'm abstaining from Waterfall. I'm saying yes to Slices and Slices, and yes to All Nations, and yes to Footprints. Did I say that right?
Go through one more time.
Because I just gave you everything.
Yeah, you
and
did.
I
That's
didn't-
fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure. So you have an abstention for prime time, the hills, Waterfall, right? And those are the three, and everything else is yes, right?
Yes, four
Okay.
yeses.
Good.
4
Okay.
yeses and 3 abstentions. Yeah.
There you go. I got it. Cheryl, how about you?
I'm accepting all of them.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Sonia?
Yes, I have to abstain from the second to last one, and
Which
I vote
is
yes. That was,
So yes on all of them,
what
but the
is it?
second to last one was
Yes.
that
Waterfalls.
was Waterfalls.
Yes, water. Yes.
Okay, so you're abstaining from Waterfalls.
And only because I had moved away from the computer, sorry.
Okay. Great. And Savin?
Sorry, yes to all, please.
Yes to all. Okay, and it's also for me is yes to all as well. All right. So it looks like based on the number of people who had voted, we got yes, most of them for
I didn't vote. You did not call me.
Adele.
So
I'm
you
sorry, Adele. Did I thought I called you. I apologize. What's your?
You already ready to
Sorry.
push it through and didn't do it.
I apologize. Go right ahead, Adele.
The first one, I vote no. The second one, I abstain. The Hills, I abstain. Everything else, yes.
Okay. So the second one was Pitton Sports Bar?
I said first one.
Right. That was right. The first.
That's the first one.
Right. Right. You abstained from that, right?
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay.
First one I said no. But no.
First one you said no. Okay. The Hills you said what?
I abstain.
Okay, abstain. Okay. And the other ones and everything else, yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. All right. Okay. So what it looks like is just to kind of look at the final count here. The only one that really is in sort of contention with the number of yes votes, all of that. I'm sorry, with the abstention votes is Primetime, which is the one that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 abstentions. Yeah, Primetime has 6 abstentions. The Hills had a no.
It also has one no vote.
Right, the Hills has a no. I was just getting
No,
to that.
Primetime also has a no vote. I'm keeping track with you, Hassan.
Good, good. Wait a minute. Oh, that was Fatima. Sorry, Fatima. Was it Primetime? You said no, right?
Yeah, prime time. I said no.
Gotcha. Okay. The Hills was an abstention from Adele. Okay, great. I just want to make sure.
No,
And the
Adele
Waterfall.
said no to Primetime, to the first one.
Yeah, she did. I have that. And then yeah, did she abstain from the Hills? That's right. Okay. And Waterfalls, we had an abstention. That was Sonia. Okay. All right. Good.
And I abstain from that too.
Yeah, you abstained from that as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. So that's our count, guys. And it looks as if we're moving. The only one that's really in contention, obviously, would be seems like Primetime because we have a lot of yes votes. Most of the yes votes are for the other businesses, but Primetime was the one that was a bit in contention. Wait a minute, we have, wait a second, 1, 2, hang on, guys, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. All right, well, it still carries because the
No,
majority
you have
of
6 abstentions, 2 no's, and I think 3 or 4 yeses. So it doesn't carry for Primetime.
for Primetime, no, I don't have, hang on a second. Okay, yes, you're right, because I conflated, I put an issue here, Primetime and then Pittant. That was Pittant was the one that had a no vote. Okay. Okay, fair enough. All right, so let me make this easier for our business owners so we can move this along. Business owners, I want to thank you guys for, sorry, George, go ahead. You had something to say?
Yes, question, how many yes we had for Primetime?
Oh,
Since they're the one that were in question.
right.
Yes.
What I have for Primetime I have, we've got
3 yeses.
3 yeses, right?
2 no's.
2 no's and 1, 2.
And either 5 or 6 abstentions. I think it's 5. but
two, hang
How
on,
many people
3,
voted?
4, 5 abstentions for prime time.
five, yeah.
Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people have voted.
Well, then you only have
So there
11
should be
votes.
5,
11 votes.
would be 5, 2, and 5? For them, 5 yes, 2
Right.
no,
No,
and 5 abstention?
there's 6 abstentions and 2 no's, and then whatever the rest is yeses.
Right. We get 1, 2. Wait a second, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4,
There's 3 yeses,
5. Yeah, I know. 5.
2 no's, and 6 abstentions.
Yeah, let him finish counting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
doesn't get confused.
Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6. Yeah, it's 6 abstentions.
6. Okay.
Yeah, 6 abstentions, right? And then we had 3 yeses
And 2 no's.
and 2 no's. Yep.
So that's 11 votes. I don't know if somebody else voted that we didn't count.
No, we know we've got Hazel George. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it's 12 of us that voted. And it looks like everybody voted. David, you voted for all yes, right? You didn't vote for any abstentions. It was yes for everything, right? Because I'm looking at this and it's
That's correct.
yeah, that's fine. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Remember,
All
you
right,
have someone who you didn't allow to vote because it would have been a conflict.
Right, that was Timothy. Yeah.
That's right. So then it would only be 11, right?
No, because we've got Hazel, George,
Oh, he's not a committee
Allison.
member? Oh.
No. Fatima, Adele, David, Khadijah, Marguerite, Cheryl, Sonia, Sabine, Sabin,
Well,
and
you know
myself.
what, Hassan, even for prime time, even if you put 1 more vote in either the yes or the no, it still doesn't carry.
Right. Yeah, it
Because you
doesn't.
still
No, it
have
doesn't.
6
I
abstentions.
agree. Right. I agree
So
with you. I had no, that was
we don't
my,
have
that
to
was
get
the
caught
only
up
one.
in that.
Right. That was the only thing that was in question, right? So
Right.
with prime time, we can't make the recommendation, as a committee to have them, to recommend them to the full board because they're going to go before the full board anyway, right? So we'll make that notation and that indication tomorrow night. But they do have the option of going to the board tomorrow night because there will be a vote in front of the full board as well, where those questions will have to be answered, Remy, as well. Okay. But everyone else, all of the other business owners, there was no problem. I mean, we have the count. The committee has voted in favor of your establishment as well. So certainly we'll see you tomorrow night, Mr. Agard. I know you'll be there with the businesses there as well.
Yes, sir.
A lot of these questions will be, of course you know the drill anyway. So Mr. Gordon and all of that, definitely. Thank you guys for being here. Natalie, thank you for being here and going through this exercise. I have to mention that tomorrow night you'll have to go through this. We're at 395 Lenox Road. I will try to make sure that you get the. And I'm sorry. Have you gotten the agenda for tomorrow night at the full board meeting? For the business owners.
I think you should resend it again.
I'll resend it.
Maybe in a different email, but it'd be great if you resend it.
I'll resend it to everybody. So I'll send it to everybody, and just to reiterate, because I want you guys to see where you are in the process of when you come up, because of course you guys know that the community board meetings can be quite long sometimes.
Long, yeah.
All right. So just want to make sure that you kind of estimate when you need to be there. All right. But either way, I'll let you go. Committee members, just hang on a second because we have a few more bits of work to do. But thank you guys for being here, Mr. Agard, Natalie, Remy, and your staff, and Mr. Gord. Thank you guys for being here. All right, and I will see you tomorrow evening at the board meeting.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye bye
Thank you
now.
very much.
Good night.
Mhm.
Bye. Sorry. Okay, great. So committee members. Oh, sorry. Marguerite had a hand up. Was that from before, Marguerite?
No, I wanted to ask a question when you go into, I guess, unfinished business.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, so I was getting ready to get to that. I want to thank you guys for that exercise. And
We
don't
still
get me
have a
wrong.
we still have a guest.
Yeah, that's Mr. Timothy. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Mr. Court, you can leave, Mr. Court. I apologize. I thought you can. Yeah, okay, great. All right, thank you, Khadija. Okay, so we're moving on. Somebody had their hand up. Who else had their hand up? Oh, Marguerite. So we're going into our next portion of our, hang on a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so we're going to unfinished business. Marguerite, you had your hand up, right? Yes, Marguerite? You lowered your hand? Okay, I guess you don't have your hand
Okay, no, I'm here.
up. Okay. Did you have your hand up or you?
Yes, I did. I had my hand up, but
Yes, ma'am.
I was muted, so I'm okay.
Okay.
So, we had talked once about having a questionnaire to give to the business owners for this, for these meetings, so that I think it would make the questions shorter, because if we make this list up, we hand it to them, give it to them ahead of time by email or whatever, and then when they come to the commerce meeting, then they would automatically answer these questions, because each time we ask the same questions to each business owner, like, what's the capacity, how many people, do you have security, is it near a house, is it near, what are your hours of operations? And like, we just keep repeating the same questions, and it's so long, and we have to call on, you have to call on people to ask the same questions. Just wouldn't it be better if we just give them a questionnaire, and then they'd have it prepared when they come
Yes,
to the conference?
it actually would be. And let me, and Adele, I'm going to get to you in just a second. And in answer to your question, I'm very, very happy that you brought that up. I was working on something just for that, a questionnaire. I had not completed it yet, so my bad, my fault. I am hoping to have it done this month and get it over to you guys. First, to have you guys vet it. That's the first thing, right? To make sure that you're able to do that, and to make sure that certainly that I didn't miss any questions, and that you can add the questions that you want as well. So, and then once we collaborate and do that piece, which I will get out to you by the close of business this week. So if everybody look into your email this week, right? And then we can have you guys look at it. And if we can get responses or completed responses by like Wednesday of next week, we can have it done for December's meeting and moving forward. Okay. But I want to make sure, that's an input that should come from all of us. We should all make sure that we have those questions answered, because I don't have all of them, but I mean, even the questions that you asked tonight were amazing, because the ones I hadn't even thought about, and you brought out some stuff from these business owners, and that's one of the things we really want to do. So yeah, so that's my thing. I will make sure it's on record. Fatima, Farah, if you know, it's on record that I will make sure that I have the questions to everybody by the close of business this week, and to the committee, and you guys can vet it, and we can have a working document that we will be submitting to CB17, to Farah and Ms. Frazier and the chair moving forward, so we can have that as a part of our overall package that we want to incorporate to the businesses. Okay?
Great.
So, great. Adele,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
That's what I was going to say. What happened to the vetting sheet?
I'm sorry.
That list of permits on it.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I throw myself humbly on your mercy. No, I did. It's just so much happening. It's been so much stuff happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's just been, yeah. So I apologize. And you know me, I'm always on this stuff. I'm usually on it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So I will definitely, so like I said, I'll have it to you guys. And anything that, once you get it, just put your questions in, make sure that because we want to have a full working document. So when we submit it, it's completely done by the entire board, entire committee. All right. So questions, anything about that? Okay, there were two things I wanted to talk about before we adjourn our meeting, and I hate to keep you guys on here very longer than we have to, but I'll try to make this, oh, sorry. David, you have a question, sir?
Yeah, sorry, just a quick question about
Yes.
tomorrow's event at Bamboo Walk. At what time is that?
No,
being
it's
held?
actually on the 26th of November. Apologies. It's on November
Oh, it's
26th. Yeah, and it's at 3 p.m. And it's, do you know the address?
No, I'm gonna. Yeah, it's not too far from me. But I'm gonna be out
Okay.
of town, so no worries.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Yeah, it's the 26th. Yeah, that was the only date, and we're working for one for Lily's Restaurant, which is directly across the street. We're trying to hit both of them, but I'm waiting to hear back a date from them. Just so you know, but we're going to be doing at least 2 of these a month. So if you missed this one, don't worry about it. You get an opportunity to see another one. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Great. So I was going to say 2 things very quickly before we adjourn. One, we talked about having a business networking breakfast in March. And I know that we need to start looking at that. For those who have not experienced Business Networking Breakfast, it is an event that the Commerce Committee has done, an annual event. It's always been very successful, where we invite all of the business owners in for usually it's in the morning. It's usually about 3 to 4 hours, because I think we get started probably about 8 in the morning, and we go to about maybe 12, 1 o'clock or something of that sort. And then we invite all of the agencies that come in that actually regulate those businesses, and they have a representative. Each one of them talk about regulations, all of the new things that they're doing, all this kind of stuff. But the issue is there's a huge networking piece as well that we really that's been really advocated on behalf of the business owners. That's the piece that they like. That's the piece that we try to sort of make sure that it happens as well. We give a lot of time for business owners to exchange business cards and phone numbers and all of that. And it's been very successful. We've had it for a number of years. We've held it at Tropical Paradise Ballroom. I think we did it 1 year at SUNY Downstate, which is really nice as well. Typically, one of our restaurants or one of our business owners typically sponsors the business networking breakfast, so they provide the breakfast for us. Oftentimes in the past, that's been Mr. Robert Gordon from Footprints, or I think we've done something from the Hills, etc. So, and that's usually, we have that usually in March of the year. So we'll be talking a bit about that. We just have to decide on a location and certainly where we're going to have it. And that's usually will probably be done at the subcommittee level as well. And also, we're looking at doing the Sumptuous Sampler event, which is an event that we always have done in the past. That's always been rather successful, where we invite all of the small business owners under one roof. Yeah, generally it's the restaurants, where the community comes in and samples their signature dish, all right, for however long the food lasts, I guess, if you want to say it. And we invite all our elected officials and all that kind of stuff. But it's a really wonderful time. It's labor intensive, so that's why it's usually something that we start around January, because we between January and we always have the event at the end of the last week of June. It takes us that long to get everything in place, so just want to make sure that. And then certainly lastly, the East Flatbush Restaurant Week, which is also part of that. Adele, I see your hand, so give me a second. East Flatbush Restaurant Week, which is also another part of that, where the same people who have partaken in this free food or the sampling of these restaurants can go in and get discounts off of the meals, because the business owners will be providing coupons and all that kind of stuff for that as well. So, and that's usually a week-long celebration, and it follows directly after the Sumptuous Sampler event. Okay, just wanted to mention that as well. Now, and yeah, so we're talking about cleaning up on Church Avenue. Yes, that's a very good question, Adele. Thank you very much for raising that. Oh, sorry. Did anybody? Sorry. Before I get to Adele's question, does anybody have any questions or hands about what I just said? Okay, good. So now I'll go with Adele because I know she was first. So Adele, you were talking about the cleaning up of Church Avenue.
Yeah, I remember last month you said you had a walkthrough, Church Avenue D, a few other areas that were absolutely filthy. So
Yeah, exactly.
what are we going to get done with it?
Yeah, it's and that's one of the reasons why we do the walkthrough, right? And we bring the agencies out, right, to look at the area and to see what we can do to eliminate whatever the issues are, sanitation, security issues with the lightings are not right and that kind of thing. So the walkthroughs are specifically for that, and also we bring the resources to make sure that we support that effort as well. So in answer to your question, yes, we are going to be doing that on the Notion Avenue corridor, the Avenue D corridor, the Utica Avenue, as well, and the Church corridor, which is half a house side. I think our side is on I think it's the same side as if you're walking towards Flatbush, it's on the same side as Chase Bank, if that makes sense. If you cross the street and you're heading down Church Avenue to Flatbush, that's our side. Everything on the opposite side isn't ours, really, if that makes sense.
Bedford, east of Bedford.
Right,
Yes.
right, exactly. So just to kind of give you an idea. So we're going to be doing that. Yes, ma'am. So we're getting that together now. It's just a matter of getting the date, number one. Once we get the date and we agree to that, and we have to do it before it gets too bad, because I want to do it before it gets too bad and too cold. And it probably will not be this month. It will definitely be in December, but it'll be early December if I can squeeze it off. Okay, I'm just getting the dates together. But thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I agree. David, you had a question, sir.
I did not. That was from before, I think.
That was from before.
Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. No problem. One last thing, guys, and I apologize. I promise this is going to be the last thing, and I'll let you guys go. Please, just indulge me. I was talking with Hercules Reed from the mayor's office and Councilmember Lewis's office. I think I mentioned this at our last meeting. We were talking about, or at least discussing, the possibility of having a forum, or basically a forum or fair, if you want to say, or something, where we have young entrepreneurs and introducing them into the NWBE process, similar to what I talked to you guys earlier about Brooklyn Commons, and making sure that those ways in which we can take them step by step into becoming MWBEs, but also allowing the community to see these young entrepreneurs in their businesses, basically. So we're looking to try and do that. I know we had talked about a location, which was K&L Manor, which is a big enough space, I think, to have something like that in, at least off the cuff. So yes, Sonia, no problem. And I know that I broached the idea with Tracy Cameron, who's the owner of that establishment, and she said that anytime that we need it, it's no problem. So we just have to get a date and to figure out what that looks like. She said weed shops. No, but the point that I'm making, I'll tell you funny. The point that I'm making is that that's not the only thing they have, Adele. They have, if you had been at this location, these young people are doing some amazing stuff. It's amazing what they have. So yes, it's not weed shops. But we're trying to do this. So we're putting together that, and I will talk about that in the Commerce Subcommittee. All right, and figure out how that's going to look and what that's going to look like. Okay, so with that being said, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. We have been on this call for almost 2 hours, and I want to thank. Oh, sorry, who's that? Hazel?
Yes,
my hand's been up. Sorry, Hazel. Sorry.
We spend so much time on liquor licenses, but we
Yes.
don't address the other issues that businesses are creating in this community. I
Yes,
think I
ma'am.
sent you a lot of photos, but we have a lot of issues, especially on the side I live on, and they have to be addressed or there's going to be a problem.
Yes, I agree. And remember, I said to you, and you and I spoke, and I said that we need to have those conversations. And I want, because there are things that I want to talk about too, but we've got to do them in the subcommittee meeting because it's so nuanced in its scope. we haven't even talked about the walkthrough that we did, all the pictures that we took, and Mr. Jabril took as well. So we have to have all of those things and discussing that. So yes, I agree with you, and we're going to do that. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. I have not forgotten that. It is part of what we have to get through. Sorry, George, go right ahead.
Yeah, no, just want to let you know that they finally they will be reopening a supermarket at Avenida where Key Food used to be.
Yes, yes,
It's
sir.
going to be a food world.
Yes.
They are taking applications right now.
Yes.
But they don't know exactly when they will be opening. But if you know anyone who's looking for jobs in supermarkets, they have the applications right here.
Thank you, George, because I
Yeah.
went by there and I did speak to the person, the owner. So yes, thank you for that, because I completely forgot to mention that. But thank you very much. That's right. Fantastic. See,
You're
that's
welcome.
why that's why this committee is on point. You see, anything that I forget, y'all take care of it. I love that. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I just want to remind. I also want to remind everyone
Yes.
that these meetings are public meetings,
Yes,
and it's
they are.
public records. So be careful what we put in the chat,
Yes.
because those things go on record.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't want anyone getting in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I agree. And Sabine, you go ahead. You had a question?
Sure, I did have this quick question. I know last time we met, we had asked, like, what happens to old businesses that close, for example, the Rite Aid, the Walgreens? Do we have an understanding of what new businesses may come and replace? Or, I mean, sometimes it's so high level, by the time we do find out, it's a little bit late. Is there some kind of communication that goes at a much higher level than where we are, where that information is shared? For example, I'm given one on Utica, right there in Utica and Flatlands, Rite Aid closed, but it's, there's graffiti painting on the buildings. On Walgreen by Kingsbrook, there's the area, if you see, for those of you who go down there, is that shared with you at any level?
It's not shared with us, and this is where the committee, but I always, and I hear what you're saying, and I applaud you for it, and this is what I want, and I'll leave it up to the committee, and I always leave it up to you guys, because I never want to ask you to do more than you feel that you're being overwhelmed. If you see a location that has closed, right, and you know of a location is closed, what I recommend you do, this is just when you're there, take a quick photo of it, right, the address and all of that, and bring it to the committee so we can sort of begin to disseminate that information, because what's been happening, that's exactly how we've been getting our information, right? And it's really been eyeballing it and that kind of thing. So I don't want to put a directive out there saying, well, this is something that we all have to go out and now do as part of our mandate. I don't think that's fair. Because I mean, it's a lot to do that. But if you do see that, I would prefer that you guys come back. Now, what I think may be happening also is that our elected officials sometimes get information on businesses that are closing and opening, right? So I can pipe into our our elected officials and ask them to send us on a regular basis when those businesses are opening, when they get those notifications, and whether it's any openings or closings. Now, we have a good enough relationships with our elected officials for them to be able to provide that for us, right? Whether that is Councilmember Lewis, Assemblymember Zinnerman, Kevin Parker, State Senator Kevin Parker, whether it's the Congresswoman's office, all of them are our elected officials. Monique, Assemblymember Monique Waterman, all of them are, and they do get notifications on opening businesses and closing businesses. So if they can just pop us and send us to our general Community Board 17 email, that would help us tremendously. It helped us tremendously. So that's a really good point that you bring up, and I can make that recommendation as well.
We have 4 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and I think that's George. You had one last question, sir?
No, I just wanted to mention, I think it was Sabine who was asking about Utica Avenue, Rite Aid, if it's the one up there going towards BJ, and one of those. It's another supermarket that's coming there. I don't remember the name of the supermarket, but that's going to be a supermarket right there, the Rite Aid that was used to be on Utica Avenue.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Now,
Yeah,
the
thank you for
But
Walgreens,
but actually, it's not in our district.
It's just out of our district?
Yes.
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Is that community board 18?
Yes.
14?
Yeah.
18. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, real fast. I was
All
at a
right.
court, Snyder, and the cannabis, I guess, Office of Cannabis, had a
Yes.
big seizure note on this building. But that building is now still open, and I see teenagers going in there. I don't see them coming out.
Say that again. What was
It's
the
on the
building?
corner of Nostrand and Snyder, right around the corner, right down the block from the precinct and the firehouse.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. I've passed that. Really? So they did
Yeah,
close it down. They
big
did close it down.
slap that says, no, they're open again.
Oh, wow. So that's something that we can bring up at the precinct council meeting, Adele, because why are they open again is beyond me. And it's right in the 67 precinct's backyard. That don't make no sense.
That's what I say too.
That don't make no sense.
It says
That don't make no
seize.
sense. Yeah, that makes no sense. I completely agree with that. I will definitely bring it up. And if you get there before if you say it before I do, one of us will bring it up. So yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
let me let you know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you again, committee members, for providing such a robust Commerce Committee. And the subcommittee will be getting together soon. I'll send you guys the email. And Miss Bellin, unfortunately, wasn't able to hear. She's out traveling as well, so she's unable to be with us this evening. But I want to thank you guys for being on. And I will talk to you soon. And please look out for my email and getting the things that I said that I promised I was going to get to you. Okay. And Farah, thanks so much for all of the work that you've helped with the Commerce Committee. Really appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bakrdine.
Sure. And now, can I have our committee member?
I make a
want somebody
motion
make a
to
motion?
adjourn the meeting, Marguerite.
All right. Any second?
Adele Bennett second.
All right, ladies, thank you so much, and good night, everybody. And I will
Good
talk to you
night,
soon.
everyone.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.